This is ABC.
The new Pizza Hut Pepperoni Lovers Pizza asks,
why is everybody always picking on me?
just one bite and you'll know this new pizza is pepperoni paradise. 2 prolific pilings of pepperoni packed between 2 extra plentiful portions of cheese. Now get 1 for only $8.99, or better yet, 2 for just $4 more. New Pepperoni Lovers Pizza.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
You know why.
Making it great.
We are the Giant family, and we're big on helping you. We brighten up your shopping day. Quality's the Giant way. We're big on savings, Giant. Big on sharing, Giant. Big on freshness, Giant. Big on caring, Giant. And we're especially big on you.
WHTM, TV 27. And now, from the heart of Pennsylvania, here are Rick Wagner and Lisa Hall with the news, the Chuck Rhodes Weather Outlook, and the Great May Sports Report. This is 27 News Tonight.
Good evening. Lisa Hall has the night off. Tonight, U.S. officials say they still cannot positively confirm that American hostage William Higgins has been killed by pro-Iranian extremists in Lebanon. The wife of the kidnapped Marine Lieutenant Colonel says that after watching a videotape of a hanged man, the captor's claim is Higgins. She is still not sure if it's her husband. The group, the Organization of the Oppressed on Earth, says it hanged Higgins this morning in retaliation for the Israeli abduction of a Hezbollah spiritual leader. President Bush cut short his 2-day trip of 3 states to come back to Washington to meet with his top advisors. More from ABC's Mike Von Friend.
The president's top advisors rushed to the White House, complete with charts and graphs, to present Mr. Bush with all aspects of the case involving Colonel Higgins. The Senate unanimously passed a resolution condemning the apparent murder and calling on the president to take appropriate measures. Then a bipartisan congressional delegation went to the White House to hear directly from Mr. Bush. But Speaker Thomas Foley reported options were discussed, but nothing decided on.
The president reaffirmed very strongly his view and ours that American policy has been not to deal with hostages. And he is weighing a wide variety of options.
Senator David Boren is chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee.
I don't think anything has been ruled in at this point. I don't think anything has been ruled out at this point.
Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell urged extreme caution.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very difficult, dangerous, intense situation. 1 American life has apparently been lost. 8 other American lives are at grave risk. For their sake, it is important that the president have the widest possible range of options available to him, and that no member of Congress say anything that limits those options or adds to the risk which those Americans face.
There are now more threats to kill more hostages. The White House says it has notified those holding hostages that they will be held accountable, but no one is saying how. Mike Von Friend, ABC News, Washington.
Whatever action the president decides to take in the Higgins matter, he will have the support of Central Pennsylvania Congressman George Gekas. On the floor of the House tonight, Gekas said he will support the president even if it means taking military action.
If the President of the United States should decide to institute covert action to seize the assassins and to bring them to justice, I will support that decision. The American people, I believe, do not worry so much today about world opinion as to whatever consequences may be in store for those assassins. Actually, the American opinion is that we have stayed silent too long.
Gekas also says the president has a heavy burden in that his actions in regards to Higgins will set the tone for his administration's position on terrorism. Another Iranian-linked group calling itself the Revolutionary Justice Organization has announced it will kill an American hostage from Pennsylvania, also to avenge the Muslim clergyman's abduction. 56-year-old Joseph Sisipio of Norristown, Pennsylvania, was deputy controller of American University of Beirut when he was kidnapped on September 12, 1986. Tonight, his family wrestles with the knowledge that he may be executed tomorrow.
My fears always were that perhaps it would come to this someday. And I'm very, very concerned at this point.
Meanwhile, the group that claims to have killed William Higgins also has threatened to kill hostage Terry Waite of England. Waite disappeared in January 1987 during hostage relief efforts as an emissary from the Archbishop of Canterbury. We talked with a Colonial Park man today about what it feels like to be a hostage facing possible death. Leo Byron knew that terror firsthand. In 1985, Byron was aboard this TWA jet when it was hijacked in Lebanon. Byron was held captive for 17 days. Several times he wondered if he would be killed. Despite his first-hand experience, Byron says the government must act with restraint and citizens must trust the government's doing all it can for Americans in captivity.
I don't think we should abandon them or make deals just because the situation is at hand. I think there are more things here than meet the eye.
Byron says when you believe you are going to be killed, you think about your family, not about politics. Well, firefighters from Pennsylvania and other eastern states will join the war against wildfires out west this week. More than 100 of them flew out of Harrisburg International Airport earlier this evening to join the round-the-clock battle against flames.
In Idaho and 4 other western states, fires have devoured more than 100,000 acres of forest. Heavy, unpredictable winds have made it a frustrating fight in Idaho's Boise National Forest. Thousands of firefighters have worked about as much overtime as they can stand. They are weary and need reinforcements. 170 volunteers from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland responded to the call.
I received my phone call at 5 o'clock on Sunday morning, and he said, get ready to go.
These volunteers know they face a lot of hiking and hard work, but it's also an adventure.
I'm excited. This is my first time going out.
I'm in the volunteer fire company. We've had a couple small fires, but nothing like, I'm sure it's nothing like where we're going.
What I'd like to do is put the PA crews on first, all right? For all 5 PA crews and the New Jersey crews and then the 2 Maryland.
The military transport jet was too crowded for all 9 crews, so some had to stay behind until a later flight. No surprise for the ones who've made this trip before.
This is par for the course on a big fire like this. Things are pretty chaotic at this time when they're bringing in a large influx of people.
What is also par for the course is the patience, dedication, and endurance of these Eastern volunteers, some first-timers, some veterans of previous Western forest fires, who will bring back the experience that might save woodlands, a house, or a life in their hometown someday.
Well, tonight they estimate that the fires have blackened up to 110,000 acres of forest since Wednesday. They have also called in the U.S. Army to help firefighters and make sure nobody tries to loot homes in the areas that have had to be evacuated. Autopsies on the victims of that plane collision in Allentown should be complete tomorrow. Meanwhile, today, federal aviation officials continued to search among the rubble for some sort of clue as to the cause of the crash. 7 people were killed when the planes collided over a commercial area of auto dealers and a shopping mall in Salisbury Township, about a mile from the Queen City Municipal Airport. Among those killed were a Continental Airlines pilot and the head of the trauma team at the Lehigh Valley Hospital. Tonight, the Coast Guard is looking for survivors in the Gulf of Mexico off the Louisiana coast. As many as 9 workers are feared trapped in an oil boat that capsized as it was heading to shore. 4 workers were pulled from the water by fishermen and a Coast Guard helicopter earlier today. The vessel was making its way back to shore when it got caught in 10-foot waves caused by Tropical Storm Chantal. Still ahead on 27 News tonight, does Pennsylvania have more than its share of teacher strikes? We'll have results of a new survey. And another new survey has some surprising good news about drug use among Americans. Stay with us.
Hi there, it's me again. During July, Toyota's throwing some serious incentive money on the table. Whoa! Millions of dollars in factory and distributor-to-dealer incentives. There are big 4x2 incentives. Trucks now rated #1 in customer satisfaction. Huge incentives on 4x4s, including 4Runner. All this factory and distributor-to-dealer money is designed to make me a lot smaller and your deal a lot better. So hurry before all this incentive money is gone.
More elderly people are committing suicide than ever before. Is it that they feel they've become a burden on their families and have no more use to society? Or are some children to blame because their parents feel neglected and not wanted? On the next Oprah Winfrey Show, why our elderly are committing suicide at an increasing rate. Are we to blame? We'll talk about it.
It's Oprah, tomorrow at 4 on TV 27.
This is Lens Lab, the new kind of optical store where you can choose from 10 times the frames of an ordinary optical. Then watch us custom grind your lenses in about an hour. Even bifocals. Listen.
I received a no-line bifocal tinted within the hour.
Took my 2 kids out to eat and came back in less than 45 minutes and they were ready.
Watch us make your glasses in about an hour.
Lens Lab, Camp Hill at Capital City Mall near Ames and Reading at Fairground Square Mall, main entrance near J.C. Penney.
He's a convicted killer. He murdered young Jeannie by stabbing her 20 times. Now he's killing her family with an unbelievable lawsuit. He's suing Jeannie's mother for $20,000, claiming the girl might still be alive if Mom raised her right. It's an all-American outrage. The killer blames Mom.
A Current Affairs, tomorrow night at 7 on TV 27. You're watching 27 News Tonight, Central Pennsylvania's most award-winning newscast.
Well, last week, the Lancaster Drug Task Force made 2 arrests in what some people may think is the most unlikely place for drug trafficking, Amtrak trains. 2 juveniles from New York were picked up here at the Lancaster train station. Juveniles were carrying 2 kilograms of cocaine. The Lancaster County District Attorney's Office says the arrests have come in part because Amtrak is keeping its eyes open.
We've had excellent cooperation with the Amtrak police, and the fact that we've been getting better information, I think, has led to the recent arrests on Thursday and Friday.
Lancaster County's Drug Task Force has only been operating for about a year now. There is some good news to report tonight on the nation's drug problem. A government survey out today shows general illicit drug use is decreasing in the United States. But there's a downside, too. Hardcore addiction is up. More from ABC's John Bascom.
It was obvious to the drug czar. The National Household Survey on Drug Abuse contains some good news. William Bennett said, "This is quite something."
I think the headline for tomorrow is, if I were writing it, it would be this: overall drug use off sharply, but cocaine addiction, crack, intensifying.
Bennett says the decline in drug use means that despite the availability, people are saying no, and progress has been made in the war.
Drugs are potent, they are cheap, and they are available almost everywhere, and yet millions of Americans who once used them regularly appear now to have given them up altogether.
But it was not all good news. Health and Human Services Secretary Louis Sullivan said cocaine use is up.
The survey found that almost half a million people in all age groups currently use crack. And more than 1 million people had used crack in the past year.
The household survey interviewed 8,800 people, and surveyors estimate that 28 million people used some illegal drug in the last year, a drop of 25% from 4 years ago. The survey did not measure drug use in prisons, in college dormitories, or among the homeless. Secretary Sullivan said the survey shows a need to focus the federal effort on treating the serious cocaine addict. John Bascom, ABC News, Washington.
Tonight, the Board of Directors of the Lewistown Hospital put its stamp of approval on a new 3-year contract for service and maintenance workers. You may recall 130 workers went on strike in May over the contract dispute. Well, the union ratified this contract 2 weeks ago, and the board approved it tonight. The new 3-year deal calls for a 6% pay raise each year. A new report out tonight says Pennsylvania accounted for more than a quarter of all the teacher strikes in the nation last year. The survey by the Pennsylvania School Boards Association says during the last school year, there were 23 strikes in Pennsylvania schools, one more than the previous school year. The survey also says the average length of a walkout is up from 11.6 days to more than 16 days. The School Boards Association says the blame lies with the teachers' unions, which should not be able to collect salaries during a strike. The association says the state should also have the power to end strikes. But a spokesman for the Pennsylvania State Education Association says teachers strike only as a last resort to improve education, working conditions, and their economic status. Tonight, 20 employees of the State Treasury Department are looking for work. Pennsylvania Treasurer Catherine Baker Knoll today announced she is closing the department's investigations unit and dismissing 20 employees. That unit was created back in 1982 to investigate the loss or theft of Commonwealth checks. But the Treasurer's General Counsel says the unit is incredibly inefficient, spending more than $4 for every one it collects. Tonight, the state DER is fighting legislation it says would weaken its ability to prosecute environmental lawbreakers. The proposed bill would allow the Attorney General to investigate and prosecute environmental polluters without waiting for a referral by the DER. Attorney General Ernie Priate says current state law hampers his office's ability to bring violators to justice. But DER Chief Counsel Keith Welk says legislation's unnecessary because the current regulations are working. He says the joint task force of the two departments has made almost 200 arrests since 1980. And we have some information about a 1-800 number we gave you on tonight's Family Health Beat at 6 o'clock. It was concerning the Talk, Listen, Care kit to help parents and children deal with sex education, substance abuse, or other issues. We have received several calls from viewers having trouble with that number. Here's the number again, 1-800-852-5488. And the number is correct, but now we know it's only good after August 1st. Up next, Chuck Rhodes tells us when we will see the sunshine again. But first, a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. The daily number, 173, and the big four, 2930.
When my baby smiles at me, we take the Geo and feel so free, oh, whoa, in my Geo.
The new 1990 Geo Prism sports a 16-valve engine with electronic fuel injection standard and the highest horsepower in its class. Compared to the Honda Accord LX, Prism gives you more and costs over $2,100 less. And first-time buyers can save up to $1,400 or choose 2.9% financing at their Keystone Chevrolet Geo dealer.
You love your Geo. James Way, your way.
Here I can get a variety of merchandise. It's not one name brand, it's a number of name brands.
The Huggies and the Loves and the Pampers.
Little Tykes and Fisher Price.
Lee Jeans.
Gitano clothes.
Dickies Menswear.
Rubbermaid products.
Black & Decker.
Coleman lanterns. Pepsi.
Kodak Film.
Gold Star.
Scotch Videotape.
You have everything.
We care about you.
They have good prices. Really good prices.
James Way, your way.
They're ocean death nets that can stretch for miles. Virtually invisible, they trap everything they touch.
These nets are indiscriminate killers. They take anything that happens to swim into them.
See why the practice of gill netting is sparking worldwide outcry. Plus, Dr. Joyce Brothers reports on the 4-year itch. Find out why so many couples end relationships every 4 years. See it now, USA Today on TV, and see it from a different angle.
Tomorrow night at 7:30 on TV27.
Oh, here are the birthday pictures from People's Drug.
Oh, let me see.
I got 2 sets. We can share them. These are the big 4x6 jumbo prints. Mm-hmm. They're such great quality.
Big smile.
Oh, this is really sweet. Thanks for sharing them with me. Sure. Don't you just love the jumbo size prints? They're 37% bigger. Same 2 great choices? Mm-hmm. And same low price. People's Drug.
The convenience you want.
The savings you deserve.
You're watching 27 News Tonight with Chuck Rhodes' forecast for the Mid-State.
Tracking our first hurricane of the season tonight.
This is always exciting. Nothing like last year with Gilbert. Gilbert was that Mickey Mantle of hurricanes that comes along once in a while. And this one will probably stay minimal. It's just barely a hurricane, but tell that to the folks in Texas and Louisiana. This is what it looks like, incidentally, if you're keeping track at home. It's approaching now the upper Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast from Freeport, Texas, over to Morgan City, Louisiana. And it has sustained winds of 75 miles an hour. And some of those winds north and east of it are a little bit stronger. It's moving northwest at 10 miles an hour and should make landfall, the center of it, somewhere around northeast Texas, about 2 to 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And if that all works out well, that's what we'll do. Look what we did around here. In the meantime, we had a record of our own today. Not much to brag about. 66 degrees was the high, and that's our record for this day. That's the lowest high temperature ever on July 31st. It hasn't been this cool since 1925. The overnight low was 61. The normals are 86 and 65. That is not the Duncannon International Airport. That's the Harrisburg International Airport in the background. It is cloudy at this hour, 63 degrees, humidity 97%. The winds from the east at 6 miles an hour.
The barometric pressure is 30.10 inches and rising. The Susquehanna River is 4.1, is holding steady, and the precipitation is 0.33 inches, and that's the official rain bucket, and most of the weather watchers in the area are reporting a little bit more than that. Here's what we're looking at now around the area. Talked about cool temperatures. It remains cool. Look at that, upper 50s in Bradford and DuBois, Johnstown. A little bit milder to the southeast, but still cooler than what it should be. Look at the national picture. Of course, that's Chantal down there approaching the coastal sections. It's chilly up in the north, very warm and humid, unstable air mass in the south. It'll stay that way. Take a look at the radar under that. Look what's happening. Right along that nearly stationary front where you see the brighter colors, that's heavy showers and thunderstorms. If you're listening on KBO, that's actually red and yellow there on your radio, and you have scattered showers and thunderstorms over Colorado and Kansas and Oklahoma. Most of that will stay here. What we're keeping an eye on, what happens with all this moisture when Chantal makes landfall and starts to move this direction, could be a major factor as far as the weekend forecast goes. We don't really need that. It'll be cool tomorrow up in the northeast, 70s and 80s. It could be 80s and 90s on a normal July afternoon. Down in the south, 90s. Florida, back up to the northern plain states where they will have to settle for 100 plus again in North and South Dakota. It's like the map is backward. Out west where they have all the brush fires and forest fires, more temperatures of 90s and 100 plus. The motion map for tomorrow keeps showers in the south, has Chantal moving in across the Gulf coastal sections, and high pressure will try to bring some sunshine in the afternoon. Forecast for tonight will keep it cloudy, occasional drizzle, low near 58 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll make it partly sunny by afternoon, just a skinch milder if we get that sunshine, 78 to 82 degrees. Tomorrow night should be a partly cloudy night, low near 60, a good night for the Senators game. And then Wednesday, a partly cloudy day, high near 84 degrees. So it does look like it's starting to act a little bit more like summer. Thursday and Friday, at this point, fair skies, warmer temperatures in the mid, possibly upper 60s. And then on Saturday, depending what happens with Chantal, we should get wet around here. Sometimes, Rick, that doesn't happen. Sometimes they fall apart coming up the Gulf coastal region, but it has a lot of moisture down there.
Well, the tempers were a lot hotter than the weather tonight, Chuck, at Riverside at least, and you will see what we mean when 27 News Tonight returns.
Hi there, it's me again. During July, Toyota's throwing some serious incentive money on the table. Whoa! Millions of dollars in factory and distributor to dealer incentives. Corolla incentives can make a big dent in me. Supra and MR2 incentives could save you thousands. Huge Camry incentives can mean your best deal of the year. All this factory and distributor to dealer money is designed to make me a lot smaller and your deal a lot better. So hurry before all this incentive money is gone.
What to do about children and drugs. On the next Good Morning America, former Green Bay Packer Bart Starr and his wife Terry share the story of their son's drug-related death.
A great son, had a marvelous sense of humor. He loved people, he loved pets. He was a good child, and we saw drugs totally distort his thinking.
Saving our children from drugs on the next Good Morning America.
Tuesday morning at 7 here on 27 WHTF.
It's official. Starting August 5th, U.S. Air and Piedmont are one great airline. The new U.S. Air gives you more destinations to choose from and more departures than any other airline. But one thing hasn't changed, the people. The same great U.S. Air and Piedmont people who took care of you yesterday will take care of you today. The name may change, but the smiles won't. The good things in life never change.
Tonight's forecast calls for something fresh. New Domino's Pan Pizza. With a 99-cent chance of precipitation. Just your time to try new Domino's Pan Pizza, because we'll throw in a six-pack of Coca-Cola Classic for a cool 99 cents. Domino's Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
You're watching 27 News Tonight with a Greg Mace Sports Report.
Senators are really starting to gel.
You and I were sitting out there yesterday afternoon watching them. And,
along with Rhodes.
That's right. We're all having a good time and watching them hitting. And I think this team really may be peaking just at the right time as we head to the final months of the playoffs. The Senators have won 5 out of their last 6. Tonight, a doubleheader sweep against Reading. Game 1, 4 runs in the first, Moises Alou doubles down the line. Bannister and Longmire score, and the Senators take a 4-2 lead. Now to the third inning. Terry Crowley is the batter. He's going to drive one down the line here. Here comes Tony Longmire. Here comes the throw. He is safe. It's 5-2. A frustrating night for Reading manager Mike Hart, who goes nose-to-nose discussing a ball call and his own ejection. A little steamed, and Mike was escorted politely to the showers. The Senators eventually took a 7-3 lead. Wes Chamberlain triples down the right field line as 2 more runs will score. But Reading came back. They trailed 7-5 in the 7th. That's the final inning of the doubleheader. Frank Bellino gets the base hit. He'll try to tie the game. Well, Jim Batcher at the top of the screen, but he falls down. Here comes the throw, and he's out, and the Senators win 7-6. Game 2 starts with another home run. We're in the first inning. Jeff Bannister is the batter, and watch this shot over the top row of the left field billboards. It's a 2-run homer, and it's 2-0. Here, ladies and gentlemen, it is Senator Rudy. We have no significance, no idea what the significance of this guy is for Senators baseball or baseball in general, but you know him, you love him, you can't live without him, Senator Rudy. The Senators opened it up in the third inning. Wes Chamberlain with a shot to center here to score Alou. That'll make it 3-0 Harrisburg, and they complete the sweep with the 8-1 win in game number 2. Well, I don't know if this Orioles slump is worse than what happened last year. After all, every win this year is gravy, but once you start to win, you want to win more, huh? The Orioles lost again tonight, though, in Boston. Second inning, watch right fielder Dwight Evans. He will make the sliding catch to rob Phil Bradley. Then, on the very next pitch in the game, Evans is the batter. He drills it over the wall, over the screen, into the street. Boston wins 9-6. The Brewers beat the Indians. The Blue Jays now 3 back. They beat New York. White Sox and A's are tied in the 4th. California leads Seattle also in the 4th inning. Well, the Phillies are at that point in the season where they politely become the spoilers. That's what you call all the teams that are real bad. Tonight against the Cubs, Phillies were down 4-1 in the 7th. Dwight Smith with the bases loaded, and that ball is gone. Dwight Smith used to come into Harrisburg when he played for the Pittsfield Cubs. The grand slam made it 8-1. Then in the 8th inning, Ryan Sandberg steps up. This is his second home run of the game. It's a solo shot to make it 9-2. Cubs win 10-2 in game 1. Phillies leading the second game. The Expos beat the Pirates, and the Cards over the Mets in the 9th inning, and there's no word on all these trades involving Viola and Bell. Nothing in yet. They got till midnight to discuss all the trades.
Okay. Well, it looks like Mick and the boys will come to Philadelphia after all. We'll tell you how local fans will finally get some satisfaction when 27 News Tonight returns.
Hi, folks. Charlie and Thorndike for Forbes Chevrolet. Thorndike, where did you get those crazy shorts? Oh, I get it. You want me to say it's our Come As You Are summer clearance. Okay, I will. There's a summer clearance spectacular with over 700 new and used cars and trucks backed up by the world's greatest service. You will get the world's greatest deal. Come As You Are to Forbes Chevrolet, just off Route 15, beside the Capital City Mall in Camp Hill. You might see Thorndike wearing his shorts.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, it's a surprise. They'll cook the food so she won't get wise. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I need a man. How about the trio grand?
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages gives you the most ads and the most choices. No wonder it's the most used book around.
Make me a perfect match.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it.
No.
Fleas. Their eggs are immune to most household pesticides, and 2 can become over 1,200 in just 42 days in your home. Fact. There's only one way to handle a problem like that. Orkin. With over 85 years of proven experience, and the only nationwide money-back guarantee in the pest control business. That's why more people in more places call Orkin more than anybody else in the world. Call Orkin today for any pest problem you have. We could be all the protection you'll ever need.
27 News, simulcast on Headline News 1230 AM WKBO.
If you're a Rolling Stones fan, we have good news for you tonight. You may recall the group's Philadelphia concert was canceled when the city closed JFK Stadium for safety reasons. Well, now the group is playing 2 concerts in Philly at Veterans Stadium, August 31st and September 1st. What's good news for local fans is not such good news for Stones fans in Buffalo, New York, because the group canceled its Buffalo concert to get the 2 concerts in Philly. But we like it, don't we? Now, coming up on 27 News tomorrow, an 80-year tradition in the Milton Hershey School comes to an end. Find out why. And the borough of Carlisle gets a gift of prime real estate. We'll tell you what's going to be done with it.
The Senators wrap up their series against Reading. They try to make it 6 out of 7 tomorrow. Riverside.
Red hot.
We'll try and dry it out for that for the next couple of days, too. Things should improve.
Thank you for watching 27 News tonight. And don't forget for the latest and overnight developments, 27 News this morning at 6 a.m. Have a good night.
Be a part of the 27 News team. When you see news happen, call 27 News at 1-800-GOT-WHTF.